So you went the wrong way with Chris Pratt and Anna Faris divorce. You went to 2016, 17, and then 15. It was 2018.
Oh, dang it.
Yep. Does anybody know, beginning with M, what is the real first name of singer Madonna?
Yes, Mortimer. Mortimer Mouse.
Mary.
No, it is very, very obvious, and it is a trick question.
Madonna.
Madonna.
You son of a gun.
What was the question again?
Beginning with M, what is the real first name of singer Madonna? Yeah?
I don't like that question.
Yeah.
You don't want me either. I got it right out long back.
I really don't like that.
I honestly thought somebody would throw out Madonna just as readily could.
You know, that was falling in line for what I do usually. So I'm kind of mad at myself that I didn't just get Madonna.
Yeah, I suppose technically it was the first question, but I have to think about that. Which one you get from Boston or Crash? What do you do?
Does anybody know what singer co-starred alongside Christina Aguilera in the 2010 movie Berlin?
I'm going to say Mortimer Mouse.
No. But she probably is older than Mortimer.
I don't.
She's an older singer.
I have no idea.
Cher.
Oh, wow.
Oh. I wish you get Cher was an actress.
Well, she didn't do an Oscar too, yeah. She's a good actress.
But she did the one with the guy with the face.
Oh, Matt.
Matt.
No punctures in it. Why else wouldn't we hold pressure?
Yeah.
Maybe bent valve?
How it looks nowadays, but back then it looked so realistic. Yeah. It was like, whoa. I was not expecting that.
The difference maker was that he got to one more than you did. Let's see if you would have found this one.
Don't even do this one.
Reality show Laguna Beach had a spin-off show called what?
Oh, yeah. Beverly Hills, 90210.
Close. The Hills.
The Hills.
The Hills.
The one that has that woman on it. And
Lauren
the guy,
Conroy?
Spencer.
Yes.
You got me too.
Spencer Pratt.
That's it. Ah, that's it.
Never use those pumps again.
Never.
They were all over the
They
news
were
and tabloids.
everywhere.
Yeah.
He was like the first, like, hateable, not the first, but like I feel like of all the reality shows, he really kind of like became like such a hateable character.
Yeah.
And was that a reality show or was it like a pretend reality?
It was like a cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Scripted reality.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that show. I wasn't sure if it was like they were coming out to unload, like wrestling. We're gonna say it's all scripted.
It's reality entertainment.
Yeah. It was around the time that I was in high school, and it was just like you watch that because it's a lot of hot ladies.
Yeah. It's the Cavallari girl.
Yeah.
Kristen.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's where she came from.
Yep.
Yeah.
That show. Oh, okay. I know these names, but I did not know the origin story.
Well, go back to watching it. First on something.
Yeah, I think you know what I want.
Get that morning chicken fix.
All right, Steve, you of course are, well, I mean, you're a 3-year-old, and you know, and Danny's a parent, and Vicky's almost not a parent, and it's the baby brother, but really he's young enough to be your own kid, so, and yeah, I know, not a good one, but I understand. And there's a new study. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, look, you know what, you have to have a brand. And this new study said, okay, parents, let's talk about me time, which, yeah, man.
And we're not talking like adults.
Again, I just want to say this. Whenever you get mad that people look at you and go, you're the perv of the show, understand that, you know, you tend to go in that direction.
I wouldn't go in that direction. I'm just trying to clarify that we're not talking about
I don't think anybody thought that. I didn't think that.
Vicky got it.
I wanted to make sure too.
Okay, the both of you are pervs. I mean, I know what me time means. I need a little me time. I never think I need a little sandwich time.
But whenever we do it on the show, not that, but like whenever we talk about it, we refer to it maybe I guess self-love or me time. Like, you know, like these are like some fun ways to get around saying we're going to Cranksville.
Listen, tomato, I suppose.
It's a good way to like release some stress so you can get back and do what you got to do.
I'm not,
But that's not what we're talking about.
No.
Yeah, I'm not saying you. I'm just
Call
saying
me a pervert.
you kind of are. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, well, no. I mean, look, I say own it. I mean, the two of you on this show, you tend to. Where do you go? You mostly go to that realm.
I was just looking for some clarification.
All right. The clarification is that you and Vicky are both perverts.
Right. Okay, so we're not talking about that.
We've clarified. Yeah, this is me time where you get to. By the way, you still could do that with your me time as a parent.
Why would you even say that? That's so perverted.
I know. I'm sorry. You know what? But that's kind of like my brand. So this is what parents do during, you know, that time of the day where they have for themselves, which is, you know, very valuable. I have to say, I think I pioneered this because I don't remember my parents ever getting to have me time. You know, that generation just didn't seem to get to have it.
Oh, my dad had me time, and now looking back, I understand when it was.
Oh, that's a good point. You know
He
what?
took 30-minute craps. Like, as soon as he got home, he was in that bathroom for at least 30 minutes.
Yeah, you know, Steve, that's a good point. It
That
was
was
never
me time.
called me time,
Right.
but that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, we just had some bowel issues.
I always thought he had work to do in the tool shed all the time, but it turns out we never really had a lot of stuff around the house that he built.
Everyone texts me,
Traffic laws
my
don't
time
apply to
is
you.
either I go to the garage or I have a 20-minute poo.
Yeah. Well, so what do you do? When you have time in the day, what is your me time? What do you do? And I think we know what Dickie and Steve do, so we don't have to ask them.
Well, after that, sometimes I just sit and it's like,
Ooh, that's number 5 on the list. So you're not, just getting that sort of silence
it's
out.
shadow television.
That's number 1 on the list.
Yeah, I'll be like, I can finally catch up on maybe 30 minutes of wrestling. Yeah, it's so crazy to think before Tatum, I was watching like SmackDown, Raw, NXT, AEW Dynamite, no problem. Now I'm like, I'll be happy if I get through one segment of the
Dude, I hate to give you credit. I really do. But currently, I've been sort of, I'm getting, I was hearing some people talk about this book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and it turns out what you're doing is the best thing you can do, just sitting in silence. Even the fancy people who read books and think, you know what, you're an idiot for watching TV or whatever you're doing, you should read your book. Even Julia Cameron said, and she wrote this book long before cell phones, she said if you really, really want to get like simple and you want to be cool and you really want to get pretty, cut out everything, including she's like reading deprivation. So you just sitting in total silence. Wow, look at you, Mr. Guy.
You know what would be great if you wrote that in the book and then like it's like the middle of the book and then you turn the next page and all it just says is, sucker, you just bought my book and I told you to stop reading books. And then there's no more, every other page is
Dude,
blank.
that's a great idea.
And the rest of the next 200 pages of this book that you guys spent good money on is blank.
I love that idea. I
Joke's
actually
on
want
you, a-holes.
You know, she didn't do it, but somebody should do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I mean, because
That's the only book I can write.
yeah. So we've got watching TV, we got sitting in total silence. Reading a book came in at number 2. For me, number 3 is me. I love number 3. It's my meditation.
Yelling at telemarketers. Stand by.
Join them on look, these are all things I do. You're right. But going for a walk is really what I love to do.
Yeah.
I love walking.
No, if I were on Family Feud, that would have been my first step. I'm trying to live. Yeah. Not trying to troll.
Oh, okay. Oh, I appreciate that. You know,
I'll go up later
it's good
and
to know that if we're on Family
tomorrow
Feud,
morning,
I can
let's
count
go to
on
the
you
bike
with
shop.
me.
Right, because if you ever become the question on Family Feud, I'm going to give that in.
Yeah.
DJ and MIGS, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Oh, let's talk about Betty. Betty's from Canada, right? That's the thing.
All right.
She's 93. And they said, Betty, you know what? You're 93. How about this? How about for the first time you go skydiving? What do you want?
I'm Betty. I'm like, what are you trying to tell me?
Yes, definitely. Like, what else?
I'm 93.
93, and she was like, so here's Betty saying, okay, here's why I want to skydive, and also Betty decides to give us a little life advice here.
I've jumped off a lot of roofs when I was growing up. When you get older, a lot of people think you should go sit on a chair and rock and rock and rock, and a lot of them don't realize that you need to keep moving. Teeth, I have to make sure they stay in my mouth. I said I should have brought a piece of tape and put it across my mouth so I wouldn't open it up. Life is short, and you find that you have something that you want to do, you should make an effort to do it, no matter how much people look at you and think you're crazy.
Okay, when you're 93 and say life is short, is it really? Because you're 93.
I've been saying this. She's like, you know what? I'm in. Let's go.
The average life expectancy is like 77, 76 years old now. So she's got more of her money's worth.
I feel like every year that goes by, though, as you get older, it just goes by so quickly. Like, I can't imagine being her age and trying to remember something that happened just a little bit ago. It's like, oh, yeah, that was
Go
a year
figure.
ago. No, that was 20 years ago.
Are we all glossing over the
I
fact
stuck
that
around
you're
110 minutes or so. That would have been our training.
Yeah, I forgot
What
that
the
part.
hell?
Mary Poppins is to
Brady's
blame.
a little bit different than the rest of us. I
Yeah.
think. If that was like what like her the old thing that she would do with her friends. Let's jump off some roofs.
I had things like that.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's just like when, especially, well, and granted, I don't know if she had a trampoline back in those days, but they would jump with skateboards and all kinds of things and see if we could land it and break many bones.
Yeah.
Betty was probably a wild child.
I do love the whole thing where it was like, what do you want me to sit around and do nothing?
Yeah.
Like, I had that argument with my parents. Like, I remember, not argument, but a spirited conversation.
Yeah.
Because they're like, what are you doing with this breakfast? Are you going to hurt yourself? You're going to be walking funny when you're older and this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, Dad, you can barely walk and you're not 80. Like, you're from 60 on, you've had a hard time walking and you didn't do anything when you were young. Like, no disrespect, but like, I grew up watching you sit on the couch and watch the news every night.
Yeah.
Like, we're all going to have a hard time walking in our 80s. Like, I'm not too concerned about that. Like, I mean, that's a given.
She did give some good advice, though, because, I mean, some books that I've read, I don't follow this advice, but you got to keep moving, which, of course, is really good for, it's also good for the human brain and all that to keep moving, so.
Keep going.
She just seems to know, you seem to know, and I don't know, I guess your dad, he didn't keep moving, he just sat on the couch, so look what happened to him.
Sat on the couch, watch the news.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think my grandpa around 93 would have probably been in, because he made it to 100.
Yeah.
And so 7 years before that, he was still the only thing he couldn't see. So beyond that, though, I think he had that kind of spirit of just like, hey, I want to get out there. He would always be the kind of guy to be like, let's go for a drive. Take me wherever you want. Let's go experience life. And it's like, you're 93 years old. How is this a thing?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now,
Inspiring.
this is wild, though. I didn't realize there's a nonprofit organization that helped her do this. It's a thing called We Are Young, and they grant wishes to deserving seniors. So it's like a Make-A-Wish for old people.
Right.
And so this
Brilliant.
Yeah, and here's the thing. She had one concern, and if you missed it from the last clip, and I love this, she's old enough where she's got false teeth. Nowadays, if you've got the money, you can just get the implants and not have to worry about it. But yeah, she said that was it. She was afraid her false teeth might fall out as she was yelling on the way down. So if you missed it, here's what she said.
I have to make sure they stay in my mouth. I said I should have brought a piece of tape and put it across my mouth so I couldn't open it up.
I did miss that part. That's pretty funny. And all that. Can you imagine she's going out of the plane, she opens up her mouth, her teeth fly out, and then some poor unsuspecting person that's just walking around nearby gets hit in the head with her teeth?
Yeah.
Day to day. I got hit by a
You get bit.
Yeah.
You get bit in the head. You're like, what the? You're out walking in the street. All of a sudden, these teeth have chomp on you. You're like, what the?
You go to work, you're like, did somebody bite you?
Yes.
Well, kind of.
Yeah. It was a ghost that somehow their teeth did.
Who did it? I have no idea, but their teeth came from the sky and landed on my forehead.
Yeah, that's, wow, is that amazing.
Lukewarm topic of the day.
I don't know, maybe when I'm 93, I will have less F to give, and maybe I do something like this, but there's no way.
I'm really thinking like 3-4 years they're going to do that. I mean, that's crazy.
Wonderful to come in every morning. Hey, but you know what? She did go skydiving for the first time in her life. So based on this, we want you to finish this sentence. After all these years, I finally did blank.
The text is coming in. One person's texting saying, after all these years, I finally got to see a pro hockey game here in Seattle, which is pretty awesome. Another person said, after 30 years of being a hockey fan in Seattle, I finally got to go to an NHL game. I was a Detroit fan until we got the Kraken, so of course I had to go check out the Wings game. I was smiling like a kid the whole time. I can only imagine. That had to be awesome.
Yeah. That is cool when you get to see your first sporting event for the first time. Or whatever kind of sporting event is.
Absolutely.
And you walk into whatever the facility is, because maybe you've seen it on TV, but you walk into a facility, an arena or a ballpark, and it is pretty awesome. It really, really is.
I wore contacts and glasses since I was 11. At age 50, I finally got laser surgery.
Oh,
My
man.
friends recently get like LASIK or the other version of LASIK just recently.
Age 50 too, which is like, I wonder, is it ever too late? And it turns out no.
Never too late.
That's cool.
I would say. And a lot of people have been texting, and I guess the best way to describe it is that a lot of people have gotten their brown belts in romantic karate. You know what I mean?
Romantic. Really? People are saying they've just done that for the first time?
Multiple people.
Really?
Jennifer,
Wow.
texted in.
Oh, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, you know what? I mean, sometimes I think it would just be like, dudes that would go, "Hey, I'm very," unless I don't understand what this is. I do understand what this is, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I don't know how else to describe
That's a great way to put it.
No, I love it. I'm using
Brown
that
belt
from
romantic
now on.
karate is a great phrase. I'm with you,
Hey,
Dan.
babe, you want to go do some romantic karate?
I love this.
I like it better than like horizontal tango.
The romantic karate. Yeah.
Yeah, but the idea is, of
I was
course.
watching Cobra Kai last night, so karate's on my mind.
But you nailed it because I mean we all know where you're going. I mean our favorite like there's a great great park in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
Like R. Kelly's a big fan of the yellow belt. That's right.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And romantic karate. Wow. I am, okay. I guess, you know what? I would expect dudes to go, hey, here's my response. But the idea that she's like, hey, listen, you know what? I'm very excited about this romantic karate.
Yeah, well, there was a few. I was like, at first, I'm like, okay, everyone's got the jokes. And then it kept coming up. I'm like, you know what? Actually, that probably is a thing where maybe for many years, somebody's like, yep, that's not a belt that I want to achieve in karate. And now
I know it's not yours. You do not want to achieve that belt in karate.
No, there's never going to be a time.
Yeah. I mean, and that's, and it does take two to tango. And, I mean, it's an interesting, an interesting situation. Yeah, let's go to Zane at JBLM. Zane, am I saying your name right? Zane?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, thank you, Zane. What you got for us, buddy?
All right, you're going to laugh, but after all these years, I finally went LARPing.
Well, I'm not going to laugh. I'm just wondering, how long have you been wanting to? And LARPing is where you do that live-action role play where you get to dress up, and usually it's medieval style, but it can be anything, really. And was that what you did, medieval style LARPing?
Yeah, so my dad was super into it growing up, and eventually he brought me with him. It was this big event in Pennsylvania. It had like 2,000 people. And you see movies like Role Models where they're throwing napkins at each other young.
Oh, I remember that.
It's not like that.
Oh, I forgot
like
Role Models.
These guys were kicking the crap out of me. I came home, it was like a week-long thing, and I came every day. I'd go back to our tent, bruised up, and a guy freaking died.
What? Okay, I feel like that's not what it's supposed. It's supposed to be live-action role play. It's not supposed to be like real action death play. How did he die?
So, I mean, all these weapons are made out of foam, but there are ambulances being called every day for injuries. But this one guy, I guess he didn't tell anyone, but he had like a heart problem. He got hit so hard in the chest it stopped his heart.
Oh, damn, dude. Whoa. I didn't, honestly, I didn't realize how intense it is because we've only seen, I've never LARPed. And I don't know too many LARPers to know how intense it goes, but I didn't realize it was so intense you're getting injured.
If I saw someone collapse and die, I'd be like, I'm putting down my foam sword. I'm good for the rest of the weekend. I'm going home.
Damn. Well, that's some calorie burn right there. So, Zane, how did you have an axe, a sword? What did you like to dress up like? What were you LARPing as?
Like the Lord of the Rings orcs. Me and my buddies, we'd paint ourselves green and everything, and we'd wear like all tore up clothes, and I had this big, huge shield and this big long spear. I was just hitting people in the chest.
I'm not doing this as a joke or some stupid questions. Is there like a safe word? Like, do you guys have like a universal safe word where it's like, dude, okay, it's like pump the brakes on hitting me for a minute, okay? Or do you just say, dude, throw the F out?
Not really. You just kind of leave. Like, if it's to the point where you're injured, everyone will stop and they'll clear you out of the field, and people will keep fighting. But there isn't no safe word now.
Gotcha.
Dude, that is intense. Well, good for you, Zane.
Did you get stopped at TSA with all your weapons and stuff?
Say that again?
Did you get stopped at TSA, or did you just go there and get your weapons there?
Oh no, wait. So my dad made all the stuff, and we drove there.
Oh, okay. So you have to go through TSA with that.
I imagine if I went TSA and all of a sudden I see this foam sword, I'd be like, we should probably talk to this person.
So, Zane, thumbs up or thumbs down? You're doing it again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, it's cool because you do all this fighting, and then it's like a week long. You're doing all this fighting every day, and afterwards, you and all your buddies go sit around a fire and eat a bunch of food and get drunk. So it's paradise.
I mean, when you think about it, appreciate the calls, man. When you think about it, man, you know what? People love to get dressed up to go to like sporting events.
Right.
So people also have to get dressed to go to the gym and do whatever workout they do. And people love the axe throwing that's going on these days at the axe throwing bars. And then people love to drink and have great food. And these guys are getting to do all of that, I mean, in one place. I mean, I love all of it except having to do physical activity and then get hit in the chest.
One time I said after all these years, I finally left the friend zone.
train.
I had my first threesome last night.
Whoa.
Or my first threesome in the same night, sorry.
Okay, so I don't know what the friend zone. usually means just like you get to be in a
So
relationship.
that they hooked up with the friend and then had a threesome as well.
Oh, wow. Wow.
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah, that is a... So you had the friend zone and you beat that and you beat the no threesome.
That's a great idea.
That's a great thing as opposed to being bad.
Yeah. Well, if you like rain.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
When it suns, it shines.
Yeah.
We've got that, and we've got the romantic karate. We're just coming up with all sorts of phraseology today.
The brown belt and romantic comedy. Karate Steve, that you're a genius.
Yeah. All right, Vicky, how about you? Well, you finally got to do what?
Ever since I was 14 years old, I've wanted to go to New Orleans. And I finally got to go this year.
All right, did you do the quintessential New Orleans for a female?
Sarah would have been really pissed off if I didn't, so I had to.
Really?
Yes.
How do you feel about that? Because I feel like, look, even though it's New Orleans, I don't know, I'd still be self-conscious. You were able to go, I have no problem, here are the girls?
Well, like, you know, alcohol is a good liquid courage, if you will.
Yeah.
But, like, everyone else, like, all the girls in the group were doing, like, a lot of them weren't.
Oh, so it was en masse.
It was not like one of us would do it and another, and then I got to see other ladies that I didn't know, so that was nice for me, too.
Oh, all right.
I remember the first time being there and that happened, like you kind of turned on and just on the flash, not you personally, but like you're like, what the hell? And then it's like, okay, this is what happened here. It really wasn't like, there was nothing like, it didn't feel sexual or anything. You know what I mean? Like,
Too
if I was a girl, that'd be like the one place I'd feel somewhat comfortable just flashing people because it's just, you're being silly. It's a bucket list type of a thing.
And it kind of feels like everyone cheers for you, like if you would have just crushed a beer or you shot them a beer. Everyone's like, yeah! It's kind of that same feeling. It wasn't like, ooh, let's get down. It's like, hey, let's do this. So it didn't really feel, it wasn't hard to do, if you will.
One of these days, we're going to get to one of our radio conventions back in New Orleans. I keep pushing for that every time, and every time they're like, it gets weird there. And I'm like, that's